Okay, today we are going to measure the zener diode, which is very useful. And this zener diode is a very small pattern because of this is half watt zener diode. And basically this one they are not printed on the body of the voltage. So this is sometimes very difficult to specify the voltage. And the first level, we have to test this zener diode. The zener diode is basically there is on this side there's a black color. Black color side is cathode, and the red color body is anode. I don't know this zener diode is how many voltage. Later we're going to test for this voltage. And this is the symbol of a zener diode. So the red body side is anode, black color of the body side is cathode. So this is the symbol. This is the shape of the zener diode. The shape of zener diode. This is the symbol of zener diode. So since we already know which side is anode and which side is cathode, so we're going to use the digital multimeter. Okay. So first, this digital multimeter. We have to put on the diode mode. You set on the diode mode. The multimeter you put on diode mode. Okay. Just take. Okay. You can see, right? Okay, so I set digital multimeter on the diode mode here. So I'm going to test as in diagram here. Digital multimeter. Red color we set to red color is positive basically. So red color we set to the body diode of the positive anode. So we just set like this. So this should have a reading of the diode. So this is forward bias. Okay, so we can see there is a reading. There is a reading. This is forward bias. So this way the diode should have a reading. Okay, so we have a reading of the diode here. Okay, if I reverse, cathode and anode should not be a reading. So this is a reverse. So the normal condition, the diode testing, if you reverse anode and cathode, this should not be a reading. So this zener diode is in a good condition. Let's say if your zener diode is reading both sides, if like this is if reading like this way, and if you reverse anode and cathode also reading, and either both is not reading, that means your zener diode is false, so you cannot use anymore. So the next, another level, we know this zener diode is in a good condition. Okay, either positive, negative, in a good condition. But now we do know this zener diode is how many voltage. So we're going to test using power supply. I've written down, I draw a simple diagram here. So how to check the zener diode voltage? The voltage must be higher than the testing voltage. I mean for this the power source, the voltage must be higher than the zener diode of we measure. Otherwise it will not accurate the voltage. For example, to understand the concept of this zener diode voltage to measuring, we're going to use today. I'm going to use a 12 volt power supply. Positive will come through to the here is 1k ohm. 1k ohms resistor. a 1K resistor. Then I will come here, and this one, the positive side, zener diode always have to connect to the negative reverse. So we're going to set like this, we're going to put like this, the black color. So the black color cathode side goes to the positive of the power supply here, and anode comes to negative of power supply. So we're going to experience for this one. I have a few zener diode here, but I don't know this is how many voltage. I have all them already mixed up here. And I have 1 kilo ohm resistor, 1K resistor. Okay, this I have 12 volt power supply. So I make sure my power supply is 12 volt. Let me check with my power supply. You set on DC mode. You set to the DC. So my power supply is how many voltage here? So I got reading, this is 12 volt power supply. Positive of power supply, resistor 1K, and the resistor 1K, you clip. So the resistor to the zener diode negative power supply goes to anode of the zener diode. So we can see clearly, right? And then we're going to use the digital multimeter here. You set on the DC mode. Okay, you can see this one is a black color, which means this one for cathode of zener diode. So the black color side, you put your digital multimeter, a red, a positive probe, and negative probe like this. So you have a reading. So you can see how many voltage of this zener diode. Let's say if this zener diode is more than 12 volt, we will not get the voltage reading on multimeter, because to testing zener diode voltage, our supply must have higher voltage than zener diode. So right now this zener diode is how many voltage? 10.2 voltage. So I know this zener diode is 10.2 voltage. Okay, another one, black color side and the red color. So cathode and not this one. So this zener diode is 6.3. So let me check my power supply. This is just power supply, power source here. Can you see, right? Okay, this is power source. This one is positive. This one is negative. So now my power supply is 12.3 volt, 12.3 volt. So 12.3 volt, once I test zener diode like this, 6.3 volt. So this zener diode is accurate, 6.3 volt reading, and